Hello guys, TAFHD here and welcome back to another video, and today we're doing an unboxing of the Logitech MX Master 3S for Mac. Now the MX Master has been one of the best mice on the markets for a long time now. This being the 3S, it should be the most refined version to date, and this being the specific for Mac one should mean it should be the best mouse for Mac on the market, or at least that's what it intends to be. So today we're going to unbox this and set it up and see how it actually is. Now I've never owned an MX Master before. I do have a few Logitech mice, but this should be a nice upgrade from those. And this being the for Mac means that it comes with a USB-C charging cable, and it doesn't come with the USB dongle, it just works over Bluetooth. So that is the main difference between the standard one and the Mac one. It's the cable and the lack of dongle. So some could say that you're paying more in some cases for less, but this was actually cheaper than the standard one when I bought it. And also it looks a bit nicer because I think this silver isn't there on the standard one, but it is on the for Mac. So if you want to argue about which is better, go ahead, but I bought this one because I was using it for a Mac. I thought it looked better and it was actually a bit cheaper, so that is why I bought it. But that's enough talking, let's get on with this. So it does work with Mac of course, and also for iPad, so that is good to know. Looking at the side, it tells us USB-C charging, 8 hours of life with a 3-minute quick charge. That is actually very impressive, and up to 70 days with a full charge. That is good to know. Some of the specs and features are on the back. So it has quiet click, it has a mag speed scroll wheel, it's perfect comfort apparently. Of course that's for right-handed people. If you're left-handed you probably will struggle, but that is the case for most mice unfortunately. But yeah, this all looks pretty good. So all I've got to do is take the tab off. That's actually quite an easy one to remove for a change. There we go, and let's open this up. Alright, so inside of that fancy box is just a standard cardboard box, and straight away there is the mouse. There's no messing about, it's just right there. So let's take that out. I do like the simple packaging and the lack of plastic. That is definitely nice to see. And then I'm assuming our charging cable and instructions, if we need them, are in here. Yeah, it tells us what website to go to if we want to have a look at the instructions. So there you go. If you want to follow along, go ahead to that website. But in here, as I said, are the instructions. I don't think we're going to need it. It should be quite simple. And here we have a Logitech branded charging cable. That's actually really nice. It comes with a Velcro tie around it as well. I'm impressed so far. Here we are with a closer up angle of the mouse. It is a bit dirty from being in that box without any protection around it, but it'll clean up alright. And first impressions are, feels really nice in the hand. Of course left-handed, that is horrible, but it's unfortunately not intended for that. I've only ever felt one of these in curries and places like that, so to actually have one is pretty nice. It's something I've always wanted, but I thought spending so much on a mouse seemed a bit silly. But I thought, you know what, if I'm going to be using my computer a lot, you might as well have something nice to use to interact with it with. So that's why I've finally splashed out. I got this for £80. I think retail's 120, but most of the time you can get it for around 80. So the instructions of what we need to do are on the bottom of the mouse. I'm going to get my MacBook turned on and let's set this up. Alright, so I've turned my computer on and opened the Bluetooth settings. What I'm going to do is take this plastic off because we don't need it anymore. And I am going to flick the switch to on. It's now flashing for number 1 because you can connect up to 3 devices to this. And I'm assuming it should show up as something to connect to. And there we are. Straight away, look at that MX Master 3S down there. So let's go ahead and connect to that. Has it worked? Straight away, that is working, as you can see. That was very simple. I've never had a Bluetooth mouse before. This is probably quite basic to some people, but to me that's quite impressive. So now, as it says on the sticker, let's just go to that website and see what we can do on there. Okay, so here we are on the Logitech page. This is what comes up once you have typed in that URL. I've already connected, so we don't need help, and we're ready to customize. So we can install Logi Options Plus. It's a powerful and easy to use application that enhances your experience using Logitech mice and keyboards by enabling you to customize how they work. So it's showing us there what we can do with it. So that actually looks very impressive. So yeah, let's go ahead and download that for macOS. Okay, so this has now installed. You can log in. I'm just going to skip that for now. And here's the mouse showing up. It's got 60% charge in it at the minute. And here it can tell us some of the things, and we can change some things. We can change the pointer speed if we want. I'm quite happy with how it is. Scroll wheel. This is of course a MagSpeed magnetic scroll wheel. So it can either ratchet like a traditional scroll wheel, or it can just free spin. So that is good to know. There's a horizontal scroll wheel that can either do lots of different things. It can zoom in and out, volume up and down, navigate between tabs, or do a keyboard shortcut. There's a back button there. That is just the standard back button that a mouse usually has. You can change it to do whatever you want though. And the forward button, same as the back one. On the bottom, as I said earlier, there is 3 switches, so you can have it connected to 3 different computers. There is a thumb button on the bottom that is currently set up to change between windows. You can change that to whatever you want, of course. So there we are. Those are all the buttons and what they can do. So as default, this button in the middle, that changes your scroll wheel between feeling like a scroll wheel with the clicks in it. Click it, then it's perfectly smooth. That is quite a cool thing. I do like that. And as you can see, there are things already set up for certain apps like Final Cut Pro, Google Chrome and Safari. You can of course customize all that as well if you want. So there we are, that device is now configured. Alright, so that is now going to be it for this video. Thank you for watching. Hopefully it was helpful and interesting in some way, and now you know what mouse I'm going to be using going forward into the future. I've always had happy times with Logitech mice, and hopefully this one will continue that theme. There were some complaints early on in the lifespan of the MX Master 3 of it dropping out and being not very good, but I'm thinking at this point in time all that will have been ironed out, and I guess time will tell. But thank you again for watching this. I like it so far. I know I've not had it for long, but I am impressed. It's definitely very comfortable for me. Yeah, hopefully I'll have lots of good times with it, if that's a thing people say about a mouse. But anyway, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.